friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. If you're new here, I'm Monet and I make videos about science and intuition and how to make your dream life inevitable. And if you're not new here, welcome back, girl. A few days ago, we talked about high vibe things that I include in my day-to-day life to raise my vibrational energy. If you didn't see that video, I highly recommend you go back and watch that one. But a quick recap on the emotional vibrational analysis frequency chart, which I will insert here. Basically, all the atoms of the earth vibrate at different frequencies and have a different resonance. Our bodies, when we're standing, vibrate at about 7.5 hertz. When we have good emotions, it raises our vibrational frequency and makes us feel good. When we have not so good emotions like fear or grief or guilt, it lowers our vibrational energy and makes us feel bad. But in addition to our emotions rapidly changing our vibrational energy and the frequency of our bodies, there are things in and around our world that will do the same. So today I want to talk about the 10 low vibe things that I've removed or at least limited from my life to ensure that my body is always at a higher vibrational energy. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button before you leave. So here are the 10 things that might be dragging you down. The first is scary media, and I don't just mean scary movies. I personally love scary movies. Not telling you that you have to cut out scary movies or anything specific. For me, scary media means news that is largely fear-based reporting or news that makes me view the world in a more negative way. So anything that's sensationalized or fear-mongering, those kind of things in media. Is movies about space make me feel particularly anxious and tense. If when you watch it you feel stressed, tense, anxious, any kind of media that does that to you. And second is another form of media, and that is media that makes you feel less than or bad about yourself. If you look at the emotional vibrational frequency chart, shame is one of the lowest emotions that you can feel. And I used to follow all of these girls who were super thin, blonde, blue-eyed, and there's nothing wrong with following them, but I was comparing myself to them and not feeling beautiful because I didn't look like them. And those feelings of shame when you are not feeling good about yourself really affect your body. So if there are people that you follow on social media or even friends that you have that for whatever reason make you feel bad about yourself or less than, one, I would look into that and see if there's a limiting belief holding you back. But two, I would just remove that from my life. You should not be feeling shame on a day-to-day basis. Number three are people that drain you. And for me, this is answering the phone to people that drain me. And this one can be a little bit tricky because of course we've all had a coworker that kind of drains us or a family member that we can't just never talk to again that might drain us, but just try to set some boundaries and limits and being mindful of your energy. The way I did this is I started creating do not disturb or focus modes on my iPhone, and I put anybody that typically would stress me out or get me out of my flow state when I'm working on my do not disturb list, and then I would put people that always uplifted me or people that I could have a brief chat with and then get back into work. I allowed their calls to come through. So you can just set boundaries that way. You don't have to completely remove them from your life. However, if they are constantly toxic to you and you can, next is having background TV on, and this is a big change for me. I used to always sleep with the TV on. I used to always have the Bold Type or Vampire Diaries playing no matter what I was doing. The TV was on. And then I learned that electronics, specifically TVs, release positive ions, which can make your body feel drained. It's why you feel drained after binge watching Netflix all day. And so I started just trying not to have the TV on if I wasn't actively watching it. I am not eliminating TV as a whole from my life. I find a lot of joy in watching shows, but having it on when it's not necessary to be on can drain your energy and is something that you can easily eliminate. Number five is creating a huge to-do list every day. And if you'd like to dive deeper into living a soft life and still being productive, or breaking up with hustle culture, or stepping into feminine energy. I have videos about all of these things on my channel. I'll link them down below. So if you're a person who really loves to-do lists, try to shift your perspective and just do 3 MITs, which are your 3 most important tasks. And then you can do a brain dump of things that have to happen at some point, but don't make this massive list of things that have to be done by the end of the day and that you're stressed over. Try to focus what are the most important tasks, put those on the to-do list, let everything else happen in flow, and you'll still get so much done, but without evoking those feelings of pride or stress or shame. Number 6 is criticizing myself, even if it's in a joking way. I don't know where we all picked up this habit of, if you do something that you didn't mean to do, saying I'm dumb or saying I suck. Sure, every once in a while you could say something like that, but when you're saying it constantly, you're giving your brain a message over and over again, and our subconscious thrives on repetition. What it hears a lot, it's going to start to believe. So even if you're saying it in a joking way, your subconscious mind does not know that. So when you're saying, I'm dumb, I'm dumb, I'm dumb, a phrase that I've heard a lot that perfectly describes this is your words are spells. So if it's not something that you want to come true, then try not to speak it over yourself. And this can be as subtle as shifting what you say to, if it's a situation where you would say, oh, I'm dumb, is say, oops, that was silly. Don't make it about yourself. Make it about what the experience is or what is happening. Number 7 goes along with the whole words or spells thing, or what you hear frequently you will believe. And that is music that says things I don't want to hear. I used to listen to so much Doja Cat. I still think she's so talented, but a lot of her songs, she would say, I am a... Well, I don't think that, listening to it is going to make you have the worst life ever. I noticed that it would affect me. I noticed that when I was listening to her songs about how negative the world is, that I would start to kind of let my mood shift into that same perspective. So I stopped listening to it. Now I listen to songs that make me feel good, and that's going to be different from everybody. Maybe Doja Cat lifts you up and makes you feel super hype. That's great. If so, you should listen to her. But really take note of how you're feeling when you're listening to specific songs. Notice if it makes you angry, or if it makes you aggressive, or if it makes you any of those things. Maybe eliminate that music from your day-to-day life and just listen to it every once in a while on an occasion if you really want to. Number 8 is foods that make me feel bad. And I want to put a disclaimer that there is no specific diet that is going to raise your vibrational frequency consistently or across the board. There's no one right way to eat for everybody. For me, I notice if I drink a lot of cow's milk, I don't feel great. Or if I eat a lot of gluten, I don't feel great. I feel slower and sluggish and brain fogged. But for a lot of people, eating gluten is totally fine. Or I notice I feel really good when I eat peanut butter. However, my little brother, he feels really bad when he eats peanut butter. So just pay attention to the foods you're eating and how you feel 20 to 30 minutes after eating each one. And if there's something that stands out that every single time you eat it, you feel less great, then maybe eliminate that from your diet. Number 9 is making all of my free time productive. I've talked about this in previous videos, as I was so addicted to hustle culture and always being in the energy of doing instead of just being. One very big actionable step I took is I used to always try to make my nighttime routine productive, and I would read a self-help book before bed. And then I noticed I would sleep and I would be dreaming about ways I needed to change my life or new habits I needed to enforce. And then I'm waking up tired because I was working all night. Now, at the end of the day, I read a cheesy, sappy, ridiculous romance. It has nothing to do with me. My brain is not activated. It is not productive. I mean, I guess it's productive in helping me relax, but it is just for my joy. Not every single second of your life needs to be productive, and you do not have to prove your worth by doing something at all hours of the day. And last but not least is overcomplicating things that don't need to be complicated. I used to be the queen of this. Things that I used to make complicated or that my friends do. Skincare. Your skincare routine does not need to be 25 steps. Relationships. All relationships have hard things and easy things. But if your relationship is this super complicated, convoluted, whatever, work on that. Meal prep, workouts. You do not have to have a crazy workout split. You do not have to have a super specific workout program. Most things in life don't really need to be that complicated. And if you're anything like me, you need to hear that. Some things are great if they're simple. I hope that this list was helpful. I hope that it gave you some ideas of things that you might want to eliminate in your life, especially as you enter into 2024. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit subscribe before you leave. We're in the middle of Vlogmas and we're doing 25 videos leading up to Christmas. And remember, you are wonderful and wise and all the good things. And until next time, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.